How are we all doing today? This is Mr. Klein. I'm afraid that Mr. McAtee is not going to be with us today, so we wish him a speedy recovery and feeling a little bit better. What I will be showing you today is how to create your own group, your own classroom page, and then also how you can show your students to join your page. So if I go over here, I'm already logged in on this other window. And usually when you log in first time, it'll take you to your latest post so you can see anything that anybody has written. If you are a part of a group or a part of any communities, and you can go through it. It's just like a feed for if you have Facebook, if you're used to it or whatever. Over here on the left, this is where you create your own classroom. I have, or other group. So I have multiple groups here. Most of them are from the FETC conference that Scott and I went to, and then there's even more. So what I've done is I've recolor coded for my red days. Obviously, I choose the red color. Anything in green is from when I was down in the conference down south. And if you see anything here that's in green, whenever somebody posts to one of those green groups, then it shows up over here as green in your feed also. So you have the best web tools here. It's color coded green. If I want to change that color, that'll change of the square. That will also change the color of your title over here. So what I have done in the past is I've created my own red 2, red 3, red 4 classes, my white 2, white 3, white 4. If you're in the elementary school, you may only have one classroom, and you may label it, so-and-so's fantastic 5th graders. If you're in the middle school for the 6th, 7th, and 8th, you may say Mr. So-and-so's 3rd hour English class. So you can create your group and you can name it whatever you like. If you want to make it something catchy, feel free. Something that the kids might enjoy and the parents might enjoy. When you want to create your own group, what you're going to do is you're going to go over here on the left, and you will choose. You only have two options. You have join or create. So if you choose the create button, this will pull up and you can title your group name. So let's make up a group that might even have Mr. McAtee join in. How about after school detention? And then you can choose your grade. You can either, if you have only one grade, or if you are at the middle school or high school, or even if you teach a special in one of the lower grades, if you want to choose a range between all of your grades, then that's fine too. You can choose a subject area, so I'm going to select all because many people like after school detention. And then we have this advanced options. So you can go in here, you can default all new members to read only, so they can't post anything, they can't add anything. You can also moderate all posts and replies. So if someone posts something, before it can show up on the page, it will send you an email. Edmodo will send you an email, and you can decide whether or not it should be posted on your class page. I've had a couple kids in the past that have posted something, and another kid's like said something a little derogatory, like "shut up" or "you are not really that cool, Mr. Klein," and so I've had to moderate that and delete it. So what we're going to do is we're going to just disregard that for a moment. We're going to create this. So if you notice, once this group is created, it pops over here in your groups, and this will be the first page it shows you. This is for my after school detention group. This is a code that I will give any student. So that looks like a W, but that's actually a VV. So if I write this down, that's a 0, not an O, V, V, B, Z, 1. That will be the group that will be the code that you give your students. And then once all of your students have joined, then what you can do is you can lock the group code. And and actually even before you lock the group code, you can still share folders, create assignments, and everything else. It depends if you want to lock your group code. If you want other people to see what you are doing, you don't have to lock it. If you want to lock it, then that's all up to you as well. So what we want to do is if we want to choose a student and they want to join the after school detention group, then what they will do is they will go to the edmodo.com and they will say that I am a student. And so the first thing, it will be student sign up group code. They will type in 0 because you have given this to them, VVBZ1. And the neat thing is they can choose whatever username they want to. I always tell them make sure it's school appropriate. So if we want to make up one, Klein is the coolest. So I'm gonna have to type that in every time. Probably not a good choice to choose something large like, hey, it is open. Password, can't tell you what this is, but I just typed it in. Email, most of your students, if you're in the younger grades, may not have an email, but they may want to choose to put their parents' email in. They can either do this now, they can do it later. If they don't want an email, that's just fine. And so what I'll do is I will use my alter ego. A lot of people confuse me with some famous people, so my alter ego, Tom Cruise. So I will type that in, and you have to click on this, and then we will say sign up. So as a student, what I have done is this is what my page will look like. It doesn't have anything. I'm only part of this group right here, this after school detention group. But if I look back at my page and I refresh this, since I'm hosting the after school detention group, then it will give me a notification up here on the right. I have one new group member. That new group member, there we go, Tom Cruise, must be a pretty cool guy. And whenever you get these notifications, you can always turn them off or set to read only. I always just hide my notifications, that way I don't have to see them all the time. But then what Tom will be able to do is they will be able to follow along anything that I type on a post. How about, I'll just type in a little note, don't forget your make-up work for detention on Wednesday. And then if you have to attach a file, you can do that, links, choose anything from your library. But right here is where you can send it. Now, if I want to send it to more groups, more of my groups over here than what just the after school detention, I can type in another group. So I could say my algebra enrichment. And if I start typing in algebra, this will give you anything that starts with ALG, and you can go down your list. Type, type, type. So I'm just going to choose my algebra enrichment, and then I could send that. And that would send that to both the algebra enrichment and the after school detention. I'm not going to choose that. So we're going to say send. And so if I send this, this is what it looks like on my page. If we go back to Tom's page and we refresh here, you'll notice that there is a latest post here as well. So that is how you can create your group, and that is how you can get a student to sign up in your group. Once that happens, then you are going to be able to start sharing things to all the students, videos, notes, passwords, sorry, and other items as well. Also, for each individual student, you'll notice over here on the right there is a parent code, and each student has a different parent code. So if a parent wants to know, wants to be a part of this, what I did is I sent an email out to my parents of each class, and I said, this is what we're using this semester. If you would like to view what we are doing, email me back and you have an individual parent code, and I will be happy to send that to you. So I've had a few parents sign up for that, a few others not so much, but you'll have that, I guess. And so each parent, they have an individual code, that way they can only see what is on their son or daughter's page. So I think that will just about do it for today's lesson on Edmodo, how to create and join groups. So for Scott McAtee, even though he's not here, I'm sure he'd like to say you guys have a wonderful evening. So I will say that for him, and I will also say that for me. As always, make sure if you have any questions, feel free to email or send us a tweet on Twitter. We'll be happy to help you out, and let's get moving forward. Have a good night.